abusiafo sese die ye nam top connect so e mani sika de bagana efi wiase afana nyina yenchia kapre ane aye free top connect amasika mani ayem rekra ye wuhia ne se wo be download with top connect app no e Play Store di ama wo Android phone and so we use iPhone so or Apple Store na download the top connect aye simple kra top connect wa manda buredu num so wo Europe North America and Asia wo mane wo dofu sika fa top connect so aye ntem na emre na ma wa hoto so sese die sika mani di foforo kra any top connect so we yan chechemu bia for top connect our +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe top connect our befontin tefidie nyina so top connect for sika mani wa dofo sunjemu a untia kapre top connect yensu ye die
the Bank of Ghana committing to that project?
I don't have the figure offhand.
The figure for your headquarters?
I don't have a figure off my head, sir. That's what I'm saying.
$250 million. Are you committing $250 million to that project?
I don't have the full complement of the figures.
Mr. Randolph, you are the Director of Finance of the Bank of Ghana. This is a major project that will shake the balance book of every organization. You should have that figure of head. How much are you committing to your head office building? We know it is $250 million. Can you confirm that? The Bank of Ghana committing to that project?
I don't have the figure offhand, sir.
The figure for your headquarters?
I don't have a figure off my head, sir. That's what I'm saying.
$250 million. Are you committing $250 million to that project?
I don't have the full complement of the figures.
Mr. Randolph, you are the Director of Finance of the Bank of Ghana. This is a major project that will shake the balance book of every organization. You should have that figure of head. How much are you committing to your head office building? We know it is $250 million. Can you confirm that?
Manage 2 years. So see, I did fear Rabia 2 years. I wanted them. What's name? 2 years? We are 2 years. I come. So see, I know. So that's someone has said per se. Open single room. So see, I know you put that 600. You put that 500. You put that 700, 800. You are dying. Says here agents for age 100 CDs for viewing fee, and I say 80 Ghana for viewing fee, just show you the room. Says here if you're for beer, the modern agent for Uchia 9,600, also Uchia agents 900, 600, and 900 and almost 1,000 CDs. Why? Says here you to the end day. Why? Like why? What, like why? Hey, like it's serious. Say, Matsna demo 2 years. I'm paying 8,000. Now I'm supposed to pay 9,600. And you're taking the 2 years. You take 1 year and put. Because you see, me and 6 months in 1 year. Se see ade we adwuma me fiera Uba boa no busumi pay higher the amount. Say 600 or say 700. You have to eat only small one pay because a whole month no pay. And it's back on one bed. Ume should be you. Ume should be you or my one penny for Munka once a machine. Youth for the year brenna ye kunku anyhow. A direct in tea ye begging pontino. Uba come ye kun. Uba come ye kun to you to ye brenna. A dancing air queen, a day. How Ghana, ye black papa, a day. And then fear out, walking in and catch a person, the patrol with a diamond, because of agents. Agents, very fees or do what said them, or bet you 80 cities and now say 100 cities. And then there's some dying. Who could have 600? Oh, nothing room in or do 2 years, 600 cities, 2 years. Because of that, we need to be able to or no person or two. Now, or do a group of a show on 1 to 600, 1 to 500. Let the would turn into a person who chair 2 years. And the moon can shame my say you to the bread. Yea, only a better bone, yea, actually a 2 bar. I made your very influence in call for a cake.
President Nanado, your friend Matheson, Sunyana Namo. Makotana awon in Holland, Ako Sam in Fifure. Sikaka Crane Yayano, Mediaba Mia Memo, Ghana, the Ababe 2 registered bank, AJN Banki. President Nanado, Uber TV so be catch Ghana for sale. JN Bank anye Nejumaye, Tiwaji Bank and alliances no. What the customers in Misika Bemomo. 3 years money, mensanka emisika. Sika kakre ka ye no so 550 million. Media kwa to commercial bank. Na me nim say commercial bank de me di misika koto ho a e save. President Nanado enam IMF bosiana wo kwa ko boninti. Osimi misika 550 million na odi akwa ko ye adwuma interest wo so no. One city korano umfa mame. Misika trene no so o se umfa mame just 2024 na sika no interest ketuwa no a menya no obema ni mu 5%. Menya adwuma wo Ghana mintimi so enko Holland se me ko ye adwuma mimfi akọ animu kakra kwan ben so na mefa so a me ne me yire ne memba yibedidi. Mr. President, mesero se me ma se me be street carefully ho Mia misika makosam infifure enya no mesro se obama mensa aka obi bia obi tie saa me audio me record ni bi no mesro se mo de beto mo platform so ebetimi afa so na President Nanado nensa aka we nyamase ni bi etie Ghana mpanyinfo mesro mo so se mo ne President Nanado be kasa ma me damase.
Sydney Discotheque, verano del 79, con la mejor música del mundo, del mundo, del mundo, del mundo, del mundo, del mundo.
Oye, oye, oye. koliwa koliwa anoma koliwa anoma koliwa 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 anoma koliwa anoma koliwa 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 anoma koliwa anoma koliwa 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 anoma koliwa
Oja. Hello. Welcome to the show, Mansa Musa. I am ready to roll. I hope you are as well. Another beautiful Wednesday evening coming to you from London. And I'm Shabana for BNPP Nibi. Ozi Mansa Musa 2024 ni the achemu. Mesiane, enyam na muzi BAWUMIA na jese ekwe. Oja. Oji. Anyway, it is my own opinion. No one is saying it's going to be easy. Because the incumbent, they are determined. I can almost say they don't want to ever hand over power to NDC. Because you see, in our politics, the body politics in Ghana, it is all now, winner takes all. And when power changes, those who wield the power, those who have the power in their hands, the power belongs to them. You see, it shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't be like that at all. It shouldn't have been so that, the party that runs the country has the power to themselves. All over the world, wherever democracy is being practiced, power itself belongs to the people. It belongs to the citizens, the nation. And power works within, it's a system that works itself out. So when or if the law, gets hold of you for doing something wrong, it is the law. It is not, those in charge who want to make sure they show you where power lies. But in Africa, especially in Ghana, it is all about, whoever is wielding the power, whoever is holding the tummy, then the power is there. So the NPP group, the people who are in charge now, they know very well that they haven't performed at all. Their performance, abject use, it's just nothing to write, as they say, home about. And so they know that on the normal circumstances, on the in every proper natural calculations, Ghanaians will have to kick Akufo-Addo and this NPP out. They know very well that they haven't performed. No one who. Omunim say, "Omo ambo brani, yoma ye basa. Because omo ambo brani, yeah, well, don't get me wrong, because those in charge for them, they and their family, they are damn rich. They are damn rich. It is the rest of the country There are about 90-95% that we have to make do with the little crumbs here and there. So because of that, the people in charge, they know very well that if they lose power, the next group comes, they are going to be in big trouble. Say power no esisa ombe nyansem bebre omo ho be kire won papa. And so it is all about strategy. You see, the strategy that NPP want to use to win or retain power, how for that strategy, let's say, who will be this? Hey, no, this is not serious. Hey, how? No, this is not serious. I don't know. This is a joke. This is a joke. This cannot be true. This is a joke. This must be a joke. Well, it seems you can hear me maybe speaking to myself, talking to myself, but the point is, you see, it said, according to City Star TV, it's a Kumasi Technical University first-year engineering student applauded by school authorities after successfully molding coal pots. So, anyway, the technical university in Kumasi, almost say first year student, I'm about modern Pamaya idea. Yambo Mabaso. Idea Ben Omaya, almost to me, a coal pot, Krupoto. Now, me sure the way for me, I don't believe this is true. Debbie. It's a growing on Woody. Coal pot, na taba yensi university no na Ghana for nye coal pot anyway. But one of the biggest issue here is about the BAWUMIA, aftermath of BAWUMIA elections. You see, yesterday, or I've been saying for a long time that, well, we are all aware that vote buying and the rest takes place. We all know. But usually it is done in silence, in a hush, don't make too much noise sort of way. Until Akufo-Addo and his BAWUMIA came about. After the vote buying, just a mainstream. It's home be to vote. Anyway, my main court telephone is now. Hello.
Hello, man.
Good evening. Why are you?
Good evening, man. If I try from Lawrence Evans, come on, ability.
Hey, Lawrence.
Yes, boss.
Now say you bring Muma Mori Poto, imiti unkache.
Yeah, bring mu ya o na on the one. Some baby am catch your last because I'm sure we miss you. Me unya me o. Unya me ba kukra.
You do for mama. Just say, "Mama ko pe baby atete." Hey, rally crow we pa. We who for kra do.
Debbie. Mansa Musa. Yeah, Ghana project and Jumakubia project. I mean, honestly, we see him come up.
So one okay, we say, I mean, mischief. Now, me try no kakra. Who can say your friend is saying Ghana project na mama kai. Yesterday, I don't know if you had chance to listen. I had a discussion with one. Comfort Doyo Gansa MP for
NDC Adan MP
yeah.
or minority
I didn't know, sir.
Or leadership.
Okay, I didn't know, sir. Insiona form nyina fa dan ni bibia. Intindra. I mean, any din almost 30-45 minutes. She was actually in a car being driven from Ada to Accra. After which, Mr. Setekpe joined. But that woman, it's all about the fact is, I think some national effort or international effort, either crowdfunding or how people do it. We need to get the pictures, the rolling pictures, the kind of saying the videos and clips, maybe send about and raise funds through the social media to help, because but just imagine just one example per se. One example be I fan say why NFO tomatoes anything na nsu abefa ni nyina akọ na ne dan anyhow na okasa on 2-3 honko gina baby ansu oni ho a onkonko ye den ana de no I mean the whole thing is a mess. And meanwhile yesterday on Captain Smart show we watched live, or it's not live, but bodies being pulled out of a river. Apparently some students are down secondary schools worried about because can you imagine nonce can you imagine that bicycle they haven't given them water. So student, collaboration, those days, if you say time, I mean we are the top guys. Or and it should be a project I say but I don't know maybe more their culture. All the same, Akwaba. Diana do baha.
Madam Samida Sibibre Major so it's program nekaka. May are aware of some now can besides when him say you moving so many packing kind I do read a lot. I've read a lot about what you are saying on Ghana Web name, other news portals and so. The American say unfortunate, superly unfortunate. As a political party like the NDC, obviously, a member of the NDC will groom her. Yeah, the member of the party will groom her, and that do not stop me from commenting on activities within the NDC at the national level. What you are saying? I believe as a group, we have to be forthcoming with what really our intentions are going into 2024. Manza, you've been in the services or you've been in the force before. You can only be part of a broken situation to fix it. Services or even in the force before. You can only be part of broken. Whatever that is, and we intend to fix it, and therefore we are part of the problems. Yes, Mamemfa Akwenya we embo His Excellency, former President John Mahama, and then the brother Ibrahim Mahama Abaso, for the hand that they the kind of main kind of time.
They have extended a lot of help, I mean they've actually given a lot of
we have to commend them. They did such a fantastic job. Very, very fantastic job. One would have also expected as on minor fine. We should the regions in TNT Nadmona. For disaster management and whatever that's canon. Have they been proactive? Is it because those regions and those areas because a safe delay? And for the Kujina region, I could address some of the chiefs and said, it begins with you, not in the Sabonkum, it begins with you and your people. No, is it because it is in the Volta region? I bet my life on it. Kufuor couldn't have done this in any part of the eastern or in the Ashanti region. And you have to take that into consideration.
NFM Radio.
We are our own people. We are can you say Being to know Nunsu and Fire Hansham. Me, I don't consider myself like semi-free voter or I'm a guy. I was born in Kutuba. You come and say, you will tell for that. Who can't open tell for that? I'm a boy.
Yes.
I was born me. I will go to Kutuba. Yes. I grew up in a country. I grew up in a palace. Now in the mission tree. The word man friendly. Me some no be dear grand. No, be a train about. Hey, now my friend you went only need dear go. So I was like, my friend, what kind of language is it? I was forced. We could school international issues international. But Good Fridays, that time, not be safe for the what you have with a champagne in the what you have. Fridays, my young phone because you know, dear them. I was some dim rika, a free, with Johnny Free School, a big giant here, a tear senior, ye meditate issues. I was say, yang NDC for near tea of what say, or my Ghana, no, yang, in himself a civic duty to make it work and work better for us. Yes, hard no. Na ejuma kubi ene amenu kasemansa musa. Ye tititi work where see a kubi pro forum and omo ye technocrats and omo ye lawyers. Nonsense. Mansa musa, you expect some of us to go on radio and speak for the party. Who expects the people on the ground should go around pasting posters, hoisting flags, doing all the legwork? That we are not about it now. Now, what's the more money? Be mama point because we are winning answer. When you be me, party no for see a fire into my pefra. Into my panel, or see a pefra. We need to begin with the radicalization. Say, yes, sir. Na yeah want to say, oh, you know, young Kwani Bugana, Mazumsa, who called Ghana a man yourself, JM time or the before officer. Things that we needed to do as a political party, you know. In me and yet because you respect him, okay, I took for that no kind, or say he will do everything in his power to retain BAWUMIA as president. And yet we don't have to look at it as if say ye dear go. Mansa me can say more program so about 10 days ago. Me see among from fan show teams lives will be lost. Make long squabble advance at Bolota. I could lose mine in the course of what I believe in. A principle. I don't mind losing it as far as the rest will do what is needful. It is Mamina Samna Okana and yeah, I don't care with this whole business about elections. I will come and say for no. What I care about is what me and Kazaksamatu didn't say Ghana project. Ghana project, the man from anything. Ghana project is to push the NDC under John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, to make sure, say, revitalize and revamp our economy. The Emema to Ghana project, they say, I want to help in whichever way possible, in the minutest way possible. Say you bet me fight corruption. You bet make sure so more me real Ghana sika. Emrano be di, be sika na emrano me di ni be set example. Ebe da ho ama echema so e dia bobra. Ghana play time ma to di ni say we have to go back to the basics as far as the NDC is concerned. We have to create opportunities for people, fairness, make sure say your creed of accountability, transparency, you know, and then stability that will come into play by appointing people into office on the display and after on the making sure that they are committed in seminar you book that as but I'm saying I have any better my up to the actual topic. Miss Woody and me, my culture said, Woody, be a me. I want to come to your studio. This time I am not boxed. Yeah, I'm not running a campaign for any election. I'm a free-minded person, a very principled young man.
Let's not forget. You say you are not right, but since they say Akamu want to be to fix. I mean to fill some positions. You have to put yourself up for, if nothing at all, let's say deputy communication officer, because I think you are that good.
I'm a serious political activist, you know. I'm not too nice when it comes to politics. I will fight. I will do everything, even if it means I have to be very physical. And I don't see, I can't show the vibe within the chapter. Let me be honest with you. Okay? Just like the Jews, no one spoke.
And your patron say, your more vice speaker, vice communication officer, I won't pay.
NDC to retain political power. I'm a hands-on person.
Mm-hmm.
I want to work with people who have got integrity. I want to work with people who believe in fairness. I want to work with people who believe in what the NDC stands for. Until the NDC tells the world what it makes for someone to be admitted into the party, I applied to join this political party from my branch. Let me send videos. And I have gone to Ghana and I have had the opportunity or the privilege to be on radio and said, me a member of Telford and Shropshire branch, which will be areas will be any. Right? Then it comes to elections. Because I made this pronouncement, say, pro-foreign enforcement that candidate. Yeah? I made it to my branch executives. Then I had the privilege or the opportunity, or I was entrusted with the responsibility of leading a charge to make things happen within the chapter in a very different way. And all of us, they say I'm not a member. Who spoke for me?
My point in is it's all it has all come and gone, and like your leader from Accra advice, you have to let sleeping dogs lie, and we
cannot let go. It has not come and gone. We do not apply the rules and the principles. We will always be stagnant in our stupidity. That's nothing has come and gone. Nothing has come and gone. One simple question. What criteria, and your friend is saying, my registration to being a member, and I say my application to being a member of the NDC becomes complete? Is it when I have applied, filled in an application form, sent my passport photos, paid my dues, attended meetings, never man I complete, and I say never man I incomplete? No one spoke for me. I will take bullet for the NDC. This is what the NDC is all about. I shall not be part of it in this part of the world. Listen, I've got my own constituency. Me, 2020, I slept in studios. I did everything. Me, I'm constituency from a free move. Me, adopted 10 police stations. Yes, me threw up, me drew a crowd, me saw my phones and then I know all this business. Me started my artism where the paper list a showing same. You go knocking people's door. My house number is OTB 500. Here the house numbers and the friend members more that meeting. This whole nonsense. People are interested in being elected as executives and whatsoever in this part of the world. So be it. But I'm a serious political-minded person. I want to work for Ghana with the NDC as a vehicle. And to be a Medrubia now, no man no. Me say it has come and gone. It has come and gone. Am I a member of the NDC? Has my registration, has it been completed? What makes it complete? These are lingering questions that need answering. Listen.
Yeah, but it cannot be answered in a vacuum. So as we speak, there is new executive. I think you got to push some buttons and say, look, let's resolve this. Is that not it?
Resolve it in which way?
I mean, if you think there's a problem, can't you resolve it? That there's a new administration, and maybe understanding will come to, it will come to bear.
What changes? What will complete my registration? If the NDC has got a constitution, if the NDC has got its laid down principles, we went to an election, sir. Yeah, the names are back to our phone number, now their show will be. Listen, I wouldn't want to even go there. I'm a very radical person, but Dr. Joe Yaw Uswajman, may God bless him. He tamed me, boxed me, I couldn't do the kind of stuff that I need to do as an activist, which obviously at a point helped.
All right, listen. For what is worth. For what is worth. Because say we should leave this internal.
The ultimate, you say, you really funds the Ghana. It ends there. To be honest, trust me, I've made great friends from this chapter. There are men and women that I respect so much who have actually accorded me the utmost respect, that I deserve or I need, or of course, which I do appreciate. You get to me? But collectively, as a unit, I can send you Jerry Rollins. In 2004, because indeed Kufuor had shown that level of integrity, he could have voted for him instead of on one candidate for president. That applies to me. There are few of us around. I am a true breed of the revolution. I will not when I put my hand on the trigger, say, I'll pull it. It doesn't matter who stands before me. And forget these people. But NDC. I am always preaching about unity. My son me preach about unity. Me, I can tell you. See, the task ahead of us in 2024. The put forward intelligence and you be gada. Mansa. And yeah, they say, ye koto aba yisi amount for Krumha. Ye bobuga, ye the internal election in Jamanica, Debbie. We have to go out there. This time, you find a leg work. Me. To organize the Ghana project, it is not just about communicating. Say, yes, some of our men and women in Ghana are doing great job on television and radio. The Opuswamp of Opusukwa Chase, the Sami Jenfis, Abbas Nudins, the Asafo Jays, the Basentali. We can talk of all these fine communicators. But politics, here leg work, here megaphones. Yeah, we need people like ourselves to go into the markets, right? We need people like ourselves to go into the hinterland. We need people to mobilize, because the MPP say for election, almost primaries, so much we are spending close to 90 million Ghana cedis from one candidate pool, because BAWUMIA have 400 Ghana cedis to each member to vote for him or to vote against him or otherwise. Kennedy Japan allegedly also paid 300 Ghana cedis. BAWUMIA almost 90 million Ghana cedis. Into the 2024 elections, we know the EC is not on our side. Supreme Court, we are looking at the security. The military, the police, yes, Dampare might do things properly or rightly, or whatever you can say, but I won't even trust because infiltrate almost the systems. And as a political movement, we need to take Ghana along. How do you take Ghana along as a political party? Take Ghana along as a political party when you demonstrate reasonability. And what is reasonability? Mansa, ask me, what is reasonability? You tap your brother, irrespective of what, you go down there and do the leg work. That is what that I do. I can say initially one too much. Me say the word man friend in the man me tree kasana me tree. Me ma me di me free kotoba bi ko a friend saying edum kumase no kasana me kan and crying. I learned it at the university. As a Votarian. I learned it. I love languages anyway. I can also speak a bit of Kiswahili. So, but we have some manza. I just see a chance to say elected BAWUMIA. Or my almost strategic analysis. No, thank God, say, friend Alan Chamatin will give them a bit of a frontal in the Ashanti region, but that is not a guarantee. The mere fact that said the MPP has mismanaged our country or the economy or performed and all that, it's not guaranteed. We need to work. We need to go down and work. Or see a quiet Juma. And a big shout out to my two able comrades, Mavis and Simon. Me whenever I make Ghana Biano, Simon, me can't miss him impression, me pepito. No one me fugu back asa. Mavis, a hunter was, I make whatever that it is that we have to campaign for these two, comrades of us from this part of the world to win their seats. I lost Koblan Evans' ability. I will do anything possible humanly within my sight and make sure that it happens. But collectively as a group, a group near NDC, say generally don't get a right? Mamma, any a group beyond take charge or units within the group, in take charge of the party. Or more to see no mudim komo, or more the downtrodden people. If Obed Asamwes, Vanda, boys and girls, 19 years of CBR, we will not allow any so-called professional group. Who is a professional? Anyway, let's say obit media temper. The one more posters. The one more year crab or Kusuma party. In fact, and this constitution will recognize your manner. As we need to stand up for what we believe in. Young guys, and you have to be civil. Yes, we've been civil enough, and it has not ended us anywhere. Okay? NDC products are in terms of governance. Who has been civil than some of these guys? Yes, because if you done things right, and should be a Ghana tree. Sorry, waka. Let's organize. Yeah, organizing. In this part of the world, it's all about mobilization. It's all about finances. Let me tell you, I've lost my job for almost 1.5 months. And every time I know no problem, but I have what it takes.
Oh, that is a problem. Huh? That is a serious problem. That's a serious problem because, sir, we Ojantia. The gospel according to Ojantia and Chichum bear 4. Huh? And you have been crying 4 times, no. Now who's Niska? What do you mean?
Listen, let's work for Ghana. I love my country. I love the NDC. I'll always work for the NDC, but the right things needs to be done. I'm a very principled person. So, Ubisa Dr. Joe Bekasho, ever since I'm a shot at my level of commitment, my loyalty, and the time I invested in his quest to change things done rightly, remains unquestioned, and but many of France who make us much or much now. Elections here is getting close to the 5th one now. When our end these elections, but now me need me. Now me can't end this. I have friends and now chapter executives more and some members. I need Dean Komo, the Spinozas, the Haladi Fugus, the Kasims, the Nana Watmers, and the rest. You get me? But now it's here. So this time, I only accepted the challenge because Dr. Joe Yao-Otuajiman is a good man, or the right intentions to have done things differently. And I would say, only the winning elections now. It's not Thursday. You were 2 hours a year NDC as you can NDC programs. Jopahama building the Toya, building Ghana, walk off once a me. And some of us this time, appropriately will have time. Do the comparative analysis, diagnose the issues, and let Ghanaians know exactly where we are coming from as a political party. And see, so it is just about one individual. We thought about the collective interest. In America, say, this program on common sense. But Accra, and I make my program is last 10 days. We see, we had our EC, and we also had the Supreme Court. So if you are sending me to go and talk about the Mensa for the partiality or the impartiality, then we have to clean ourselves. If you want me to go and talk about the Supreme Court for all the nonsense they did or they've been doing now, then we also had our International Relations Department, obviously under the auspices of FEG or whatever national structure or NEC or whatever it is now. We also had it. In China, so I have joined the NDC as a little boy, right? me indeed party in my BBAO. I seek opportunities to even upgrade my thinking. Or deny me, and yet I still work for the party. It's with me I come because I also say and a party you say Debbie. Masa Nigeria Rollins now supposedly is what the party committee come out and I'm a fan. And what else? Send Mahama kind, I'm a dead goat. But the form to means Russia here. I'll continue to speak my mind from here and even in Ghana. When I meet General, I will tell him things I'm not trying to do. We need to run this party. Listen, this party belongs to us. It's a mass political party. It's a mass political party. It's a public entity. They have to make things right. If they want to move forward as a political party, they just don't have to squeeze it and hand it over to a group of people who had no idea about what suffering is about. Mansa Musa, I used to walk 4 miles from Kisama to the University of Ghana. I can speak English, I can write. But they say we shall not let any group of so-called technocrats or whatever they call themselves fester. As far as the NDC is concerned, make a campaign. I will go to the market. I will talk to the market women. I will use the megaphones. It doesn't matter. This is the NDC. It is called National Democratic Congress and define the Congress. Now, almost down I am telling you, you're moving empathy back. You're moving empathy back because we love this party. What Jimmy Sika was a member. Now, from Sika Mamie. NDC for only define your party makes someone. If I saw join the party, not the member. No, I want them to tell me.
Anyway, listen, this particular issue, we can go on. For me, I think you got to call a meeting. You got to call a meeting with the executives and resolve it. Anyhow, they got to be resolved.
No. There's no need. Master, there's no need. There's no need. Master, I'm a serious political person. Me person me point to come out. Say a group of individuals been mafia. I've got a constituency within the party anyway. They are right-thinking people like myself. There are few of us, though, I believe. But I dream, speak, and think of the NDC more than my own life.
Okay.
Now, Ghana for don't confuse confidence with arrogance. I am not an arrogant. I speak my mind. I'm a young man. I'm in my mid-40s. I have lived my life. I love the NDC. I know it. It is in me. And next time, go search about their resume politically and keep the road.
But you need to find a way to resolve it. Okay. Exactly 30 minutes. Go and find something.
Unless my parents did not go from Flower to
all right, listen. We need to resolve this.
I don't want to take anybody on. I have a great respect for. Let me tell you, just give me 2 seconds. Me because me realize some of the things that went on. Now me catch say, Dr. Duarte, he boxed me. At the point, okay,
listen, Lons, it's okay. It's okay. Let's end this one because look, we have a lot. Look, one can say we have a lot ahead of us. So internal conflicts and the rest, we will leave it to rest. It needs to be resolved. It will have to be resolved one way or the other. It will have to be resolved. And listen, thank you very much. Have a good evening and. I go Vincent Monosi, Osi Januman in Casa. Everything, if he has a Vinja on Akasana, just no move. Anyway, listen, let me go to Accra. Let me go to Accra and speak to Abolo. Right. Confusion and Abolo telephone out to phone. I hope so. Telephone didn't do it. Let's see. Abolo.
Maza Musa.
Telephone didn't do it. Very good. Right. Long time, better kwaba.
Masamusa, my few bet answer na me kosuno. Masamusa mpacho ene time be na wepo.
JBR.
You Masamusa midinchia efi angroga. Ene di bro heart of amumu. My few na network na emboa wa ha.
Mini do ye do yo ekasa kama.
No me see message no. Later me hu ye no fa me ko hu be na network no so na emboa. On say weekend no anwona for ye di afa share ho gbachocho festival.
I see.
Yeah, it was nice, but not sikana enihu. Oh, near me will have for some a year weekend week. Many entire fashion anya then say one say spillage, you know. Aha, ye papa. Do a fashion kakra one say Hamilton ye was see ni lagoon. Be ana lagoon na nipa bebre nipa patronize nya coins kakra de to the fashion. But lagoon so abua faso style binti ebesre Masamusa ayame de se na oni doyo ganza e kasaye spillage ni se na aha adwene no na attention anko adanfo no so bebre bet me sure say okanyi na almost 90 communities are over 300 houses are in so no aha omunyina no obobo so still voter region need help. Maybe and so no F5 yenu. The as of mine ayi omani efi so. Ena reflecti ewo MPP primaries na omo ye yenu. Masamusa obebisa ho say Argentina voter region vote for Kennedy Japan and not BAWUMIA. Nipa bebre adwanko vote ni ho. But it was a protest. The MPP in voter region to demonstrate actually abanis and no omo because tax are here Masamusa you need tax if you voter region and I need tax if you Greater Accra and I need tax if you Ashanti region. All said and down you move empire your boy say MPP delegate ebe yi BAWUMIA 400 Ghana ama Ghana for no abem ni aye hia sesi ani se bepe PA systems na audio ti se nia ububo bi sika amanfo Ghana commercial bank omu sika omu se omu ntimi account for ni nyam amanfo adwane wo interview or accountability and information with the Bama public. That is a job by Yebeye. Ghana for Entinasi 2016 Trono, Vice President BAWUMIA Ekayenu, Embasubio. Ana Masamusa minim say, Udi Ejuma Uye Dadadanuno. Untinasi, MOB fe wadwin diagro, nipa ne ka, nenye nukwaroma ni who say no. Mimi ntinasi ma umi accepti ase Masamusa na ubefa ni se bia oni obi keke na agokasa na wafa hwedi. And me bomba say most of the journalists in Ghana will learn from you. Say politician going to 2024 election being NDC or MPP nipanika assembly track keke mo scrutinizing nipane ewu se ni awuken se bi nyansa be ne wo mu ubetimi untimi track keke dia yemfa ko 2020 election me me de se mumu bi wo ho a mu bebo adwuma na ya rescue Ghana Masamusa 2024 intro hini BAWUMIA onya sa space ni bio economy ni de waja to ho onka wan asem Masamusa osu unimi be ya adwensene na Ghana fo nya gide wo ni mu se obetimi aye hu bibi onu a demonstrate te nya ade obetimi aye hu bibi anchi o si digitalization nti ye twani odi be abeka ho Masamusa when the basi ana masremi former campaign manager say Adiasa onu munsu no ngina homi enu ntina na me bisa say tambe na obepo onu munsu no ngina homi ahode nyina mo fa braga na ha Masamusa mesro ni a new executives no let me say 1 or 2 interview vice chairman said oni na kasa 2, 3, 4 days man follow Pepe Biano officially have they been to the studio. We want to see plans 1 year where they are because all of us want to come on board. Jumana omunchiche nenso obi aso no obi anfe ne hunjim omubo kakra no ma ba form kakra na etini ya rescue we Masamusa and then Amidija new executives.
All right. Abolo OWF Yedase.
Shidade.
Right, Abola Namotene Kano, all the way from Accra, Ghana, thanking and discussing and appraising the, weighing up the efforts of the new executives here in the UK, and to be kind of the UK for Mosumwa.
Sydney Discotheque, verano del 79, con la mejor música del mundo, del mundo, del mundo, del mundo, del mundo, del mundo.
Oye, oye.
I've not spoken yet. I'm now going to speak. Those of you on Facebook, kindly share, like, and also share. Anyway, so the whole thing is that BAWUMIA is now the flag bearer, the presidential candidate for the NPP. Strangely enough, the NPP fraternity are now providing or presenting BAWUMIA as something fresh or something new or something different or something unique or something trustworthy, something viable. The NPP fraternity, I don't get you. NPP fraternity mean Timwasio. Now BAWUMIA, the man who has completely lost credibility. The guy who cannot even come out to say, look, I said this, and that. Those times that I was saying it, I believed that, I was right or it was okay for me to say. Now, though, mistakes has come or we've made lots of mistakes. We haven't performed. And we have to take everything on board. On behalf of Akufo-Addo and his brothers and sisters, I do apologize. I want to ask Ghanaians to look into their hearts and perhaps consider that I can be of a different mold or a different type, or I can do something different. So I want to beg you Ghanaians to forgive us our past mistakes. Surely we made mistakes. And I promise that I won't continue that mistake. And I also promise that I'll make sure I will correct things that can be corrected, i.e., investigate, because a lot of money has gone amiss, or a lot of waste has happened within the system, and it's not good enough. So BAWUMIA, I am really pleading. I want to show the other side of governance. The guy I believe and trusted has failed all of us, including myself. So now that I'm the MPP flag bearer or the presidential candidate, what I want to do is to relinquish the post of a vice president. I want to concentrate on delivering a different perspective for Ghanaians, So I'm going to leave the office of the vice president. You see, when BAWUMIA should talk like this, then somebody will say, okay, he's putting some confusion into the minds of people. It will even show that he respects the people of Ghana. But the course what just say MPP from Ghana for Kromufis Obie Jimmy BAWUMIA can somebody didn't track and some basa oh yeah to hongo there my fee we should forget those side. We shouldn't even think at all that he even said certain things or promised certain things. That we shouldn't even remember, or we shouldn't be reminded that this is the guy who we were told was the best economist in Africa. This is disrespectful. Disrespectful to the highest level. Say yeah in Ghana for MPP for Edwin say I mean Aden. Say yes bia omo say kwa bia ni ke on be wiem. They will do everything, kill to retain power at all costs. What will make a Kufuor think that Ghanaians are so foolish to accept BAWUMIA? What will make the NPP executives think that Ghanaians are so foolish in their brains? Ghanaians are so dumb that they will accept BAWUMIA. If you ask BAWUMIA supporters and those who like him, those who want to foist him upon us again, the same people who worshipped the souls of Kufuor, Mikani sola ne home ne nayase. When a Kufuor is walking, they will be licking the place. Those people. Imagine that Kufuor didn't become president. Like anybody, even I'm sure people in MPP, if anyone in MPP was the president in Kufuor, people will still, refer to him as, this is the best president we haven't had. I'm telling you. If Kufuor had not won and become president, I am sure, even if it was any MPP person who is the president now, people will make reference and say, we wish we had a Kufuor, he would have done better. We beg Jimmy or mine, say or mine, potopo, was send your mom bobia. I don't know akosha brofun sabium. Or didn't wakosha brofun in sabium. Now when you answer, why and I didn't wish a brofun inside before Ben Omodia who shall brofun some ye. Before by and then me can baby so the EU present 100 and something armored vehicles to Kufuor, to Ghana. They've seen when they have realized this before would differ before they also kill for anything they want. Look at the killings Kosovo Israel because killing Kunipa almost 12,000, Hamas for and Kuala it will be every 3 months, 4 years, 1 year, Hamas. Because people want their power. Now, some Crawford who say, we Africans, some of us at least are getting wiser. Omo who say, Yemubino, say, we just say, Africa, enlightenment to be baho. They say, and they always succeed because Ombenya and Kwasiafobi to say a president way. No more could diabrofunechi, Omo diabesako show Musabium. Whatever we do, we can win. Whatever we do, we cannot win. Rain falls all right. We have the greens, we have the heavy forest, we have the grassland, we have the waters, we have everything. We have so much going for us. But they will never we can never, turn the corner. Because anytime we make an attempt, then the same Abrofui will use their big brains. Omunya san we adusi here there. Omunya san we adusi yen penny for Jimmy. Omudi sika, any asiri, any coat akesi, any tie akesi, any omu hotels akesi, of course, and their hospitals. Omudi abeda da yen penny for. Gradually, they will drag us into their fold again. But the point I always make is say over 400-500 or so. Aye, ni omu say no aye be ye free omu a. Senki aye ye o. Don't you see that is because of them, because of us, and omo no aye ye? Can't we see it? It's because of we, our downtrodden sort of a lifestyle. Because of the abject poverty na ye wono. If you relate it to, directly opposite reaction in science, it shows that is what is making their lives, far better. They are depending on us for everything, but they won't let you know. It's high time we Africans must say, before Libby, look, I read something, Paul Kagame saying something around, something like we Africans cannot remain, to use the victim card, always saying we are the victim. He's very right. He is very right, but in Padifoni be Jimmy. If I was a friend to the West, me a president for West Africa, okay, fine. We are going to meet. Yeah, goes West Africa meet. Monfa, we are mamu 1 year. Monfa 100,000 of your troops, no. Na mumbe fighting sir and Crofona and we're creating in our mon clear ho. We are monko. They will say thank you, we are friends. As we speak, I read that the people, people around the world owe China almost $1 trillion. In the China for their Bromo Jijomuska. But the point is, these Chinese, when they go, they pump monies to everywhere. If our people I need to take this call. Let me play music and take this call. I will be back.
Verano del 79. Con la mejor música del mundo. Del mundo. Del mundo. Del mundo. Del mundo. Del mundo.
Oye. Oye. Anuma koliwa 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 anuma koliwa. Anuma koliwa 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 anuma koliwa.
I've said it and I'll repeat it again. Those who are coming to this administration thinking that it's an avenue for making a lot of money are going to be disappointed. They better go to the private sector. That is where people make money, not in government.
Cecilia Abunadapa, well done. Well done. I thought you were a woman and a mother who had compassion. They said, give a position to a woman and she'll do far better than a man. But these days, what do we see? It's sad. It's disheartening. Year in, year out, flood affects people in Accra. The Odo River gets flooded. Lives are destroyed. Properties are destroyed. You said you used $43 million to clean the Odo River. Have you seen what $43 million could do in Dubai or in Europe or in America? Shame unto you. It's so sad. It's so disheartening. We live in this country. People cannot even afford 1 meal a day. And some people out there who have very little are trying everything possible to reach out to those who don't have any. But you, the politicians, all you think about is grabbing. You have only one child, I was told. You have only one child, and you are grabbing all those properties for only one child. How about those kids in our front plains, those kids at the north, those kids in the Volta region somewhere, those kids in remote villages in Ashanti region, in Central region, in every part of Ghana? Look, there was a kid I met in Sogakope. They are so poor that there are 3 siblings. Every morning, their meal is yesterday banku with raw pepper, no tomatoes, just pepper and salt, with no fish. The day I asked my mother to give them soup, it was like, you are bringing kids from the war zone who haven't eaten for a year. When they saw soup in a plate that day, oh, politicians are wicked in this country. You people cannot even afford to go to hospitals. I have a little charity. My colleagues from work and my friends, they help me with their little income, and we reach out to people in the remote parts of the Volta region. They have nothing, absolutely nothing to eat. You guys are just there amassing Ghana's wealth, misusing donors' funds. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? And today's Sunday, July 23rd, 2023, I believe most of you are in your churches praising God, thanking God for bringing Ghana down. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? It's so disheartening what you people are doing to Ghana. It's so sickening what you people are doing to Ghana. I go to the villages and I see kids who do not have anything to do, who do not have anything to eat. There are people who are sick. They can't go to hospitals. Even they go to the hospitals, they give them paracetamol. This national health insurance, you buy a loaf of bread in Kuala, you pay national health insurance. Yet, donors are putting money into this national health insurance, but you guys are just looting the money, and people go to hospitals, you give them paracetamol. Why are you doing this to Ghana? Why? Why are you doing this to Ghana?
Right, that woman is shouting, why are you doing this to Ghana? That woman is crying, and it's all the fault of Cecilia Dapa. As for Cecilia Dapa, Jesus Christ. As for Cecilia Dapa, I don't know what I'm going to say. But as we speak, I've got Mr. Sam George. Those in political parlance, Honorable Sam George is the MP for Ningo Pram Pram area. I wanted to say traditional area, but actually it's a constituency. He's here with us. Hello, comrade. Good evening.
Good evening, senior comrade. How are you doing?
I am very well indeed. Are you in Accra or you are in your constituency?
No, I'm in Accra. Parliament is sitting, so we started sitting last week, and we had sittings today. We'll be sitting tomorrow as well, so I'm in Accra. Good evening to your listeners as well.
Oh, brilliant. I don't know why I slept or how I slept last week, but this week is very good to me because yesterday I got Madam Doyo. In fact, it was Setekwe who called the name for me properly. Doyo, the MP for Ada. And Setekwe himself was on my show for almost 1 hour. In fact, he did a Zoom with me. In fact, I don't know if you have time. I would have asked you that we should do a Zoom. But if we do Zoom, people will come on top plenty. But I know you don't have the time. But let's talk. So I'm very grateful that you've given us some few minutes to discuss. And all what I want us to talk about is this flooding thing. I mean, from the very start, last time I saw you on TV, I mean, it is, to put it in local, I mean, the simple part, it's laughable that in this day and age, top executive, top engineers will say they did a simulation, knowing very well that this day and age, I repeat that one again, that there is electric, what do you call it, AI or computer simulation, which can tell you that when you release hundreds of billions of gallons or barrels of water into any space, how the water is going to behave, where it's going to go, and everything will be seen, it will be shown by a calculation, and everything. So for them to say that they started warning people they should leave, the question we are asking always, where should they go? Where should they go? No one is answering. Let me ask you, your area, is it that your constituency is also affected, Mr. Sam?
Well, thank you. And let me say on a lighter note, I always say that Ningo Pram Pram is the second home of the Almighty God. They are the holy cities. They are the twin holy cities of God. So we are always protected. Thankfully, the disaster did not get to Ningo Pram Pram.
I see. I don't know why. That's why maybe I didn't go there. That's why I don't have the blessing, because I only reached, I only reached Somenya. Got back to camp at Suchari, and I was given punishment for yeah.
The next time you are in Accra, Ghana, make sure you come to Ningo Pram Pram and touch the soil there. Your life will never be the same again.
Thank you very much indeed. Nice one. So yeah, but
on the issue of the flood.
Sure.
Look, let me start by saying that with my little background in engineering, my first degree was in engineering, agric engineering. I specialized in soil and water engineering. I would be the last person to say that the spilling of the dam was wrong. It wasn't wrong. If that dam was not spilled and the dam lost its structural integrity, we'll be having a completely different situation. Trust me. Anywhere between 50 to 100,000 Ghanaians would have died. You would not have any of the constituencies from Akosombo through Lower Manya, all the way through Juapong, North Tong, South Tong, like portions of the eastern Volta and Greater Accra region would have gone. The whole of Ada, Sege, Shayosudoku, Ningo Pram Pram, Tema, Ashaman, the whole of Tema, Ashaman, Medina, and Adenta would have been wiped into the sea if the dam should break. So you cannot for any reason hope or pray, even for your worst enemy, even if it is Akufo-Addo and BAWUMIA who are president and vice, that dam should break. Because the loss of life that it would have occasioned is unthinkable. Now that said, that is why you have engineers who are put in charge of the dam. Now the engineers are giving constant information from the Ghana Meteorological Service on the weather patterns, volume of rain expected, and projections for volume of rain. And so as engineers, it is incumbent on you. You know that if the dam gets, I think, to 277.5 feet, it would, and it reaches 277.5, the dam will break. And so you don't let the water get there. Now, in January this year, the volume of rainfall, the volume of rainfall was more than we have seen in over 30 years. And so the level of water in the dam as of January this year was the first indication to the engineers that you were going to have a serious issue of water levels. No action was taken, and then they waited, and the rain started falling and kept accumulating. The Volta upstream started flooding and overflowing its banks in places like Yeji and the Pro East and West constituency and Sene as far back as June and July. So clearly they knew that the water levels were rising. Now when you want to control the water in the dam, you've got two options. The first is to begin to fire all the 6 turbines. The turbines, each of these turbines uses a volume of water to run.
NFM Radio.
So if you start firing all the 6 turbines, what happens is that you use a lot more water in the reservoir.
Sure.
But most times, the dam fires only 3 of its turbines. And again, that's a different conversation we'll have. Because if the dam is producing power from its 6 turbines, it then means that it is contributing a major chunk of our energy mix into the grid. Which means that what we will be taking from private independent power producers as their contribution into the grid will reduce. Which means that we will be paying less to private people. For some reason, VRA is always made to reduce its production capacity for this other private business interest to have optimum production. And so the decision to start firing 6 turbines was delayed by whichever political or engineering decision. So that in itself affected the water that remained in the reservoir. Then the second point we must make is that in over 30 years, the VRA, which is responsible for the Volta Lake, which is the 3rd largest man-made lake by volume, have not done any dredging of the lake downstream. And in 30 years, my brother, the people who have built along the banks of the lake, be it in the Akosombo Senchi area or the Adan Islands, and the amount of debris and silt that has gone into the lake, it has reduced the capacity of the lake in terms of the water that this basin can hold, because it is highly silted or heavily silted. So all you need to have been doing is to dredge the lake, because if you dredge the lake, when you dredge the lake, the basin becomes deeper, and then it is able to hold a lot more water. We haven't done that in 30 years. And so when the spill was done, the lake could only hold, the basin could only hold a little water, and then the rest began to overflow. Now the third thing we must ask is, why did the engineers, in claiming that they have done their simulations, not look at the volume of water in the base, in upstream, in the reservoir? Look at the rate at which the volume was rising, and look at how much water can be spilled in such a controlled manner that it doesn't cause the flooding that you are seeing. They failed to start spilling until the 15th of September this year. Why did they not start spilling in July and spill throughout the month of August? Why did they wait till the 15th of September? Because when they started spilling on the 15th of September, they started with 10,000 gallons per second. And that the water was still rising. Then they moved to 20,000 gallons per second. Water was still rising. We should ask the VRA, when they say they did simulations with spilling how many thousand gallons per second? From 20,000 gallons of water, they realized that the water levels in the dam were still rising, so they jumped straight to 50,000 gallons of water per gallon, gallons of water per second. 50,000 gallons per second. Now, what created this flooding is when the water still kept rising, even at 50,000 gallons per second, they moved to 100,000 gallons per second. At some point in time, they spilled 300,000 gallons of water per second. How would you not have flooding? When you did a simulation for 20,000 gallons, your simulation, like you said, should have shown you how much volume of water can be displaced from the basin or the reservoir into the basin in a safe manner over a period of time. That you don't need to get to a place where you have to emergency spill 100,000 gallons of water over a 2-week period, and at some point in time spill 300,000 gallons of water per second. It is all of this. It is all of this that have occasioned the mess that we see. Failure It's an engineering failure, and people have to answer questions for this. This cannot just be one of those, ACAVA, let's move on. No, we will talk about the rehabilitation and resettlement of the people, but we need to find and hold people responsible. This is criminal negligence.
As we speak, I know the speaker, parliament speaker, sorry, my microphones, the parliamentary speaker, the speaker of parliament has instigated or directed that there should be some sort of commission of inquiry in the parliament. This is a huge sort of a havoc that has turned people's lives upside down. I have written and suggested that there should be a proper legal or criminal investigation. Well, it doesn't necessarily mean anybody will be, charged with anything. But if it was in this country, a serious investigation will have to go ahead. What do you think the parliamentary inquiry will achieve? Apart from maybe suggesting that people should be looked after or something. Tell us what maybe we don't know.
Well, the Speaker has asked that we shouldn't just have a report made to Parliament or statements made to Parliament. And today, the Minister for Energy was in Parliament to make a statement on the spill. But the Speaker has said he wanted to go beyond that. The Speaker himself is out of the jurisdiction. I think he arrived tonight, and so he'll be in the chamber tomorrow. But the fact of the matter is we need to have a proper inquiry. Now, in all honesty, if you ask me if I think that a parliamentary inquiry in itself would achieve much, previous parliamentary inquiries do not leave me with so much anticipation or hope. I must be brutally frank with you. Because these inquiries will be made up of most likely equal number of members. So you would have 3 members from the minority, 3 members from the majority. But you will need to have a chairman because these committees have to be odd numbered. If it is odd numbered, then you will most likely have either the first or second deputy speaker chairing, which automatically makes it 4 members of the majority side and 3 of the minority side. In that instance, what will happen is you would end up having the majority side try to cover up anything that will indict government or any official of state. So you end up having a committee whose findings would be clear, show that there ought to be questions answered, but whose report and final recommendation may not speak to that. In fact, the current one we have is the inquiry into the leaked tape. Even if you don't have an odd-numbered committee and you have 3 equal numbers, you will end up having a split decision. Because persons will take their partisan position over the factual position of what is right and what is wrong. So that's where the problem is, and that's why for me, it will be important for us to lay bare. I would see an inquiry as an opportunity for us to lay bare for Ghanaians and inquire of the people who have the responsibility what they did and what they failed to do. But as to proper punitive measures, I would not be optimistic or hopeful to see that from such an inquiry.
One would say that is a shame, isn't it? Because you know very well over here, and elsewhere where they take their democracy and also the well-being of the people, take them very serious. When something happens, even if there's going to be some retributions or let's say some questions asked of the government, they still try to get to the bottom of everything, if nothing at all, as we say here, to achieve lessons learned objectives. So if we are denying ourselves of objectivity, sincerity and the rest of it, are we governing ourselves as Black Africans? Are we always trying to shortchange ourselves? When do you guys come to power? I say when, because you guys want to come to power. Do you think that sort of governance is going to change? Or is going to be business as usual, the same way?
Mansa, I would need to be an honest person here. the problem of Ghana is the structure of our democracy. The fact that we don't have truly separation, the doctrine of separation of powers. It's part of the major problem we have. Because you see, you have the whip system, which also exists in the UK, but the whip system is such that because members of parliament also serve in government and also have the opportunity to serve in government by catching the eye of an executive president, it makes it difficult for people to stand for the principle of what they believe in. Because the person is either serving at the pleasure, even though he's a member of parliament, he's serving at the pleasure of the president in government as a minister or deputy minister or as a board chairman or something. Or the person is hoping that during the next reshuffle of the president, he will catch the eye of the president. And so this lack of separation of powers, I mean, in the UK, for example, you've got members of parliament who are basically from government.
Yes.
The UK system is such that government is formed from parliament. The leader of the majority group is the prime minister.
Sure.
Literally. We run an executive presidency, which is more like the American system. But unfortunately, in America, in their own system, if you are a senator, or you sit in Congress as a senator or as a member of the House of Representatives, you don't serve in the executive government. Now, it is that separation that we don't have. And we've not been able to master. So, you see, I keep saying that at times they do so, we run a hybrid system. But at times it is good to be known whether you are a bird or a mammal.
Sure.
But if you are a bat, it becomes a problem, and that's the problem of our democracy. And so it will be hard. I won't lie.
But then, MP, Honorable, you are not saying that the cover-up is going to continue.
That's what I'm saying. That you see, it would take a lot of political will for that to end, and that is not something you can just say lightly. Because you see, for me, I'm a politician today. I won't be a politician forever. I like to be careful the kinds of commitments I make.
Sure.
I'm in no position to make a commitment to say that this and this will change completely. You understand me? Because at the end of the day, like I said, it's going to take a lot of political will and commitment from the very top.
Sure.
To ensure that such systems do not exist or are not allowed to continue. Do you understand me? Because, like I said, in the next government, are you still going to? You definitely still have members of the legislature who serve in the executive. Okay, you would also still definitely have the executive presidency wield so much power, and the party will also have a say. So that's what I'm saying. It comes back to the political will of the president himself being able to allow parliament to be independent. And I'll give you a typical example. When the cash for seats scandal broke out, parliament said we're going to have a bipartisan inquiry into it. The day before the committee began its sitting, the president made comments to the effect that he believed that there was nothing wrong or guilty in the cash for seats scandal. Now, when a president makes such a politically loaded statement, a day before his MPs, who are looking up to him because of the lack of complete separation,
sure,
start sitting on the matter, what the president has done is to send a signal to them what his wishes and aspirations are, and has prejudiced any position objectively that members of his party would have taken on that committee. And we ended up seeing that being the case in that committee.
So
the majority report to the minority report. So it will come back to the leader. And the leader's willingness to allow for the rule of law, the separation of powers, and independence of the legislative wing. I've seen some of that in the first term of President Mahama, but we'll need to see more, and we'll need to see it entrenched for the betterment of our democracy.
So this sounds, well, let's hope so, but a bit depressing, because if you think of the fact that we have political masters and the civil servants who are most of the times very well paid because of their ingenuity or because of their how do we say it, their competence in whatever they are doing. When mistakes or certain things happen, and the political masters or political overseers cover up for civil servants and vice versa, surely we are not providing good governance for ourselves and for our people, are we?
No, I mean, you've summarized it correctly, and that's part of the problem of our country. We can't run away from it. We need to end business as usual, and for me, that is why I keep saying that it comes back to political leadership and the decisions and political will that the leadership hold. I have listened to President Mahama in the past few days. Just yesterday, he met with the Trade Unions Congress. He spoke about a reset of our country. He spoke about the fact that we need to begin to rethink the way we do things and review a lot of the things that we do. And I think that those are the right kinds of vibes to get from the man who wants to lead our country. That's not going to be business as usual, that there's going to be a change in the status quo. But like I keep saying, it will come down to political will when, by God's grace, God willing, John Dramani Mahama is sworn in on the 7th of January 2025 for us to walk our talk. I have absolute hope and confidence in him that he will walk his talk. But like I said, we would need to get there and show that political will. It is what will set the NDC aside apart from the NPP. It is what will make Ghanaians realize that we are not part of the complicity of criminality in our public space. Okay, I have been on record and I would maintain it and repeat it that the NPP is run like a criminal organization, like a mafia organization. But the NDC is a political party that has the interest of Ghanaians at heart. And when we come to power, God willing, on the 7th of January 2025, we have a perfect opportunity to show friends we are. And this
you've almost answered my question. My next question, I was going to ask him if you think or you know that your leader has what it takes to do things differently, but you've almost answered that. So let me ask you this about BAWUMIA. The MPP, this is the best they've got. I mean, really, what do you guys make of this? Because honestly speaking, I mean, as they say, Ghana, like we Ghana, is that all we got? That's the question people should be asking. Into the YNA. No, I mean, how do you even say it in Ghana? I haven't stayed in Osu for a long time. Anyway, but what do you make of BAWUMIA? I mean, is it that detaching himself from the current disposition? I mean, the party that he belongs, the cabinet that he's still there with, is he detaching himself? I mean, how does he explain what is going on? Or the NPP, if you are a politician, what is their game plan?
Well, the NPP do not care about Ghana. They have absolutely no care whatsoever for Ghana. The NFM hello, are you there?
Yes. Sorry, we are listening.
Okay, good. The NPP is only interested in what it is that works for them. The NPP is only interested in covering up their criminal activities in government. They are not interested in governing. They are not interested in anything that would basically give Ghanaians a respite. And let me read to you. I want to read exactly the transcript of what Dr. BAWUMIA said in 2016, and he was speaking to John Mahama at the time. He said, "You have presided in 8 years over the collapse of our economy. If you knew the plan that could work then for the economy and be successful, why haven't you implemented that plan in 8 years?" Now, can we not ask the same question of BAWUMIA, that he has been the head of the economic management team for 7 years? In 7 years, he has superintended the worst depreciation of our city. He has superintended the highest increases in petrol prices in our country. He superintended the highest inflation rates we have seen in our country for over 20 years. BAWUMIA has superintended the highest hike in cost of food and living conditions in our country. So if BAWUMIA is head of economic management team for 7 years, has that track record, and now he is being repackaged and resold to us as the best thing to happen to Ghana since Ben's bread, we need to begin to question if he had the solutions over the past 7 years. Why has he not implemented them? But it's simply because the NPP does not regard us as Ghanaians, as intelligent people. They don't value our intelligence, and they think that they can just come with sloganeering and run riot over the Ghanaian people. It is unthinkable and unacceptable that the NPP would even be thinking of bringing the man who has led us to this place. The man who said to us in 100 days in office that he had arrested the city which was handed over to him at 3.8 Bank of Ghana rates, interbank rates, and 4.2 as on the market, and claimed that he had arrested the city and handed over the keys to the IGP. Today, the city is trading at 12.2. On the market. In fact, at this time last year, the city was trading at 17. I mean,
but you see, like you said, they don't credit us with any sort of gumption or anything in the head. But we know that it has even come to 12 because now the government itself is not searching for dollars to pay any debts. We have defaulted. So, the rush for hard currency has subsided. And so that has given us a positive outlook on the exchange rate. But that cannot be deceived. I mean, we are not flattered by this, are we?
No, I mean, it's because they believe Ghanaians are gullible, and let's call a spade a spade. We have quite a number of a portion of our voting populace that is quite gullible, that believe in sloganeerings, and so that is what they are counting on, and we need to expose that and wake those people up to the reality that look, you can't trust this guy. This guy is a fraudster. He's a trickster. There's nothing. If BAWUMIA tells you good morning, you should look up and see whether the sun is up or is the moon that is up. You can't take BAWUMIA's word for it. He has absolutely no integrity, and such a character being sold to us to become the president of the country is one that we must look at very critically and ask ourselves, what is BAWUMIA's track record? The man claims that he is the king of digitization. Ask BAWUMIA all the things that he claims he's achieved. How possible is it for you to achieve? It's like someone telling you that, oh, I drive a car, and so credit me for the road. At the road you are driving on, who constructed the road? All the so-called ICT things and digitization things BAWUMIA claims he's running on. When BAWUMIA claims that he brought mobile money interoperability, like I've said, I've served notice that next year I would take every single claim of BAWUMIA in the ICT sector and I would debunk them one by one and show you how much of a scammer. There is no difference between BAWUMIA and his claims in ICT and a Yahoo boy who is defrauding white people. He's a chief Yahoo boy sitting in a Flagstaff house. Because if BAWUMIA tells you that mobile money interoperability was his idea, yet the same BAWUMIA claims that he paid $5 million for something the NDC was going to pay $1.2 billion for. If the NDC was going to pay what he claimed, which again is not even true, if the NDC was going to pay money for that project, it means the NDC was implementing it before he came into office. Do you get the point I'm making? Because you cannot claim that you have negotiated a lower price for something the NDC was doing and turn around and say that you are the originator of that idea.
It doesn't add up. Two quick points before we I'll let you go. In fact, I mean, my time is up as well. But two quick points. Talking about Yahoo boy. In fact, I think we have one Yahoo girl in Ghana who want to scam me as well. He sent me 3 messages already that I should send her £100 because she works at the National Lotteries and sure 3 or 4 or 5 bankers and we are going to share the money. And I said, this lady is really, I don't know. He's sending me with a lady lady's name, but you never know. And the guy is very desperate.
She's BAWUMIA's protege. She's learning from BAWUMIA.
Listen, two quick ones. Let's talk about this. What we call it, the lithium agreement. I think you guys are going to look into it. And also, are you guys worried that with all these problems with finance, with monies, we still have a lingering debt, on our necks, $140 million that some sovereign properties will have to be sold. In fact, I've just heard or read from the High Commissioner here in the UK saying that the government is negotiating so that we won't sell national, sovereign properties and the rest. Let's deal with this judgment debt first. What do you make of all this? At this time, again, I don't get it.
Mansa, let me just cut you. The judgment debt exposes the fact that you have local champions parading as international superstars here in Ghana. And look, I'll just use the Tagomba proverb. But the Tagomba proverb says that if you have a donkey and you dress the donkey up like a horse and take it to the racetrack, when the race starts and real horses begin to run, you would realize what an ass your donkey is.
I see. So the races will expose you.
The races have started exposing them. Because you see, they tell you Godfrey Dami is a superstar, winning all the cases here in Ghana. But I have always said that the NDC and its lawyers know the law. The MPP and its attorney general know the judges. And that is how come they've secured the kinds of Pyrrhic victories they've secured in Ghana. How come Godfrey Dami has not won one international case?
Maybe Mahama has been paying the judges outside Ghana, isn't it?
Mahama is paying the foreign judges here. You know the law. Government states the law when you go to international arbitration. But you see, it is the recklessness of this MPP administration. BAWUMIA, as head of economic management team, oversaw the cancellation by Boachi Ejako of the Trafigura deal.
Sure.
We won them, we set them amounts to a judgment debt, but they willingly dived into it. And now we've been saddled with a debt of 140 million Ghana cedis. Now, Ghana's building, not the Chancery building, but the other one, where Ghana International Bank is held, I think Regina House or something, is being attached to be sold to offset that $140 million debt. And that tells you, look, people would have to face the courts of law in Ghana for all of this financial loss. Because this is typical causing financial loss to the state. There was advice not to do it. They went ahead to do it, and now they've occasioned a $140 million loss. People have to answer questions. Then our judiciary would have to purge itself of its issue of being an accomplice to criminality. Now, you also need to have a look at the manner in which, the arbitrary manner in which this government has terminated not just this Trafigura deal, but several other deals. And there are several other judgment debts that are looming. Several other judgment debts are looming over the head of this government. And so, it is a shame.
Do you suspect that somebody within the system might be benefiting? It cannot just be like that.
It is a safe bet. In fact, that's why I don't need you to send me $100 to get too sure. I can assure you that it's a safe bet that people are behind the scenes benefiting from these judgment debts that are being intentionally created. Because look, with the Trafigura case, if we had allowed Trafigura to set up the machines, within 6 years, those machines would have become the property of government of Ghana. And the 6 years are already up now. The 6 years are up, so by now would have been owning that power plant. But what the MPP has done is that the MPP has deprived us for 6 years of using those machines. They have incurred a judgment debt of 140 million. But most painful is the fact that after paying the 140 million in judgment debt, the machines will still not, the power plant will still not belong to the government of Ghana. Trafigura is going to walk away with the power plant. Now, if we had used the power, it would have cost the government around $120 million over the 6-year period. And we would have owned the equipment. Now we are paying $140 million. We never enjoyed the use of the equipment, and we are not going to own the equipment. So the loss to the state is an These guys are criminals by any stretch of the imagination.
Is it deliberate misgovernance? Is there any law to mitigate that, or people will walk free?
Well, I expect that our Attorney General, when we get into office, will look at this. And in fact, you expect that the Office of Special Prosecutor, if it's truly independent, should be looking at some of these issues already.
I see. You see, the reason why I brought this lithium thing is just about what you've already told us, that this judgment debt shouldn't have, occurred at all. You see, this lithium, you're a very good learned man at the Metro TV, Randy Abe. I needed to consult him, and he told me that the lithium agreement has been signed without, a specific law that has not been enacted yet. He said something along. In fact, he advised me privately that no, the executive they have signed the agreement, using the executive directive or something that can be done. But looking at how this quickly has been done so quickly, look, I am from that area, Mankasi. I'm from Abrodunko. So if people are going to get jobs and this, I'm very happy. I mean, no one benefits more than myself, If I retire and go, maybe I can go and do the security for that. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, Parliament are going, you guys are going to look into this. And if there's a specific law, crucial law, which has not been enacted yet, before you answer, let me send you this message that the people are feeling the love about you already on Facebook. Nina said, I like that analogy. Then on WhatsApp, he said, oh, that's my top man from Alaji. He said, that's my top man, referring to you, not referring to me. Oh, my God. Anyway, so let me ask you, what are you going to look at? And is there any possibility that maybe it will have to be redrawn again, the whole agreement or something? Because in the end, one day someone will say, oh, some lack of clarity in the legal framework is not complete here and there, and so we need to abrogate or whatever it is. Why can't we sign agreements so that Ghana get at least, on paper, 40%? Why are we always roving around the 10%, the 12%, and we think we are very happy with it? Take it away and end the conversation for us, please.
I think it's simply because people in government want to steal from the state. It's just like the Kufuor EO group arrangement, where the whole Ghana got about 10% and his people, EO group, got 3.5%, just two people. They got 3.5%. So, it raises the issue of what exactly we as a people are doing, and the fact that everything is wrong. Everything is wrong with this lithium agreement. First and foremost, the rush manner in which it has been signed. It's been signed without it coming to Parliament. They're signing it using executive authority. The fact that the negotiations around this are murky and that Ghana is being clearly shortchanged. It is just sad that lithium is going to be exploited in the central region and even in parts of the Volta region, and benefits will not come to the Ghanaian people. You ask yourself, this company is supposed to invest, I hear, somewhere in the region of around $100 million, and they are going to make billions.
Yes.
Are you telling me that the government of Ghana cannot get that money to invest in its
Well, that $100 million is what we have used partly to build the underground cathedral and the judgment debt, isn't it?
Build an underground cathedral. We've used it to build the most expensive hole in the world. It is just a hole. It is not even a cathedral. And so the point I'm making is, if you look at how much money is being, how much money Cecilia Dapa alone had in her room. Cecilia Dapa did not have $1 million in her room. She had so much money that $1 million was taken and she didn't realize. So that should tell you how much money was sitting in her room alone, and that's our baller minister.
What a good madam to work for. Why didn't I write an application?
I mean, and I'd always been saying hi to her in Parliament. She should have told me I wouldn't have minded doing part-time as her gardener. Because that would have possibly paid me more than my parliamentary salary for my lifetime, even if I spent 5 terms in Parliament.
You see,
you know, I would have gladly gone to watch cars for her. Or
come on, you are not suggesting that, in all seriousness, you are not suggesting TV is a good thing. But then I understand the irony of it. I know we are all joking here. Listen, what else?
In our local parliament, they say thief man.
If you so. Me. I guess some friend the time we did cancel also there. This guy, I like him. I mean, he's that civilian. He's always mingling with us and everything. And he would tell her, why do you? You see, listen. Thank you very much for your time, promptu, and you have still flowed nicely. I think people are listening and they are all very appreciative of it. And hopefully, it shouldn't be the last time. Next time, maybe we'll do a proper Zoom and we'll talk about big stuff. Pending the election on the. Thank you very much, and have a good evening and have a good tomorrow working day. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
Right, so that was me, Mansamusa, with Mr. Sam George, who is the MP for Ningo Pram constituency. Well, you guys, it's not like you want to go and work for Sisianapa. You see, we all want to work for Sisianapa. There's so much money to be made there. Anyway, thank you all for listening. Those of you on Facebook, I told you to share. You haven't shared anything, but I won't take it on you. Tomorrow will be another day. Hopefully, God willing, we'll come and do it all over again. For now, what I can say is that BAWUMIA has been elected as the flag bearer, the presidential candidate. That alone is, to me, an insult because they are making us feel as though, first and foremost, Mira Jose, Intidia as Ghana, no? As MPP, is this your top level? Is this your top man? Really? Abba! Good evening.